Well, hello there. If you stumbled across this video, you are probably looking for a tutorial on how to do MASH makeup from Mashle, Magic, and Muscles. Or you just might really like the anime. Either way, welcome to my channel. I am a makeup artist. I do special effects makeup along with also different art tutorials. So let's get started and stick around to the end to see the rest of this makeup removal. To start off this makeup, I'm gluing down my eyebrows and I'm using a skin-safe glue stick. This is also a water-based glue stick, and if you do have very expressive eyebrows or eyebrows that are on the bushier side, you probably do want to glue them down. So my base sits a bit more even. I am using some primer. This is going to also plump my skin slightly and just make it easier for all of the foundation to go on. After that had dried and I just patted my face a small bit, I put some of the foundation onto a beauty blender, applied a nice and very light covering of this on my entire face, including over where my eyes were. And in a lot of cases with makeup, it really depends on what you're most comfortable with. Typically, I like to get a base down first so then I can put makeup over it, but a lot of people will typically do their eyes first and then after that maybe add some foundation, cover up, whatever the case is. I usually like to go foundation, cover up, and then I like to do my eyes after. So after I have this base down, then I'm going to continue to cover up my eyebrows. So the first is the flesh toned layer, which is this powdered layer. And after that, I'm adding some more of this cover up over it using my beauty blender to just blend this slightly. And I found this also keeps the adhesive that I used from getting too wet and having my eyebrows pop up. So I usually like to apply a couple of layers of powder and then cover up, and then powder again, and then cover up, and usually finish it off with maybe some translucent setting powder, depending on what exactly the look is. So after I have those two layers down, which my eyebrows look pretty good at this point, then I'm going to go and move on to adding some more powder. In this case, I did want to make sure I did get some powder over my eyebrows, and that is also because I did have a wig that covered my eyebrows, so it really didn't fully and totally matter. I didn't want to get a whole bunch of this makeup onto the wig, to be honest. For this powder layer, I used some translucent setting powder, and I extended it up slightly over my eyebrow and onto my eyelid, so I could go and draw on these very thin eyebrows with an eyeliner pencil. Now this is a pretty thin line. I extended it just slightly above where my eyebrow is and started at the corner of where my eyebrow grows in. Keep in mind while you're drawing on these eyebrows, especially if you've never drawn on eyebrows before, that eyebrows don't always match. Eyebrows in general grow completely and totally different on both sides of your face, and faces in general are asymmetrical, which makes us all beautiful. After you have those eyebrows drawn on, which I'm looking a little bit grumpy now. Since I have very long hair, I have my hair up in a ponytail right now, and I'm using some gel just to slick back some of these little pieces of hair that I know will 1000% fly away and get in the way of the wig, along with also too, because I have so much hair I didn't want to put on a bald cap, so I just clipped it in the back and clipped the remainder of this wig. Yes, I know this wig on the back is blonde, it's fine. I'm using the other side of it because it looks like his hair. After the wig is down and in place, I used a bit more gel to style it and just shaped it the rest of the way. Underneath our eyes, to make them look slightly bigger, we're going to use either a white eyeliner pencil or just some white cosmetic that we have. You could always use some white powdered cosmetic, and if you did put on a base beforehand, it will stick a lot better if you did. So I'm just using my finger to blend that slightly, and at the top, the same eyebrow pencil that I used for my eyebrows, I am drawing a pretty thin line across my upper lid. I'm just following the natural line of my lid. You could always put this slightly higher, put a bit more white cosmetic underneath it to make your eyes look a bit bigger if you really wanted to. And after that, I'm using the pencil again to follow along right where that fold of my eye is and underneath where I put this white. At the edges, there's a small mark, so make sure to draw that. And after you have those small little half circular marks at the side, Then you can follow up if you want to with some waterproof eyeliner. I used a fine tip one just to follow up on the bottom base and also to fill in that half circular line at the edge. I'm also drawing these tiny lines that are just slightly above my upper lid. And this is to make it just look a bit more like Mashle's eyes. It's always a good idea to have a reference up, but he does have a line that is right around there. Going back to the white cosmetic that I used before, I'm putting down another layer, and this is a thicker white cosmetic that I have. This is the Mayron Paradise palette white, and I find that it just really makes my eyes pop a lot more. Now, you don't have to do this step, but I just felt like it really brought everything together, and it made my eyes just pop a lot more and look a bit more like the actual character I wanted them to. So the makeup's looking pretty good. Now onto our lips. I'm using some gray cosmetic at the sides, and I'm just putting a very, very small line that extends slightly to the side to make my lips just look a little bit larger, at least there, and just kind of make it look like I'm scowling a bit. Over to where your eye is on the right, draw a line that goes slightly downwards. Then right about to where your nose is, it's going to branch with a very small line towards the outer edge of where your face is. Make sure the line that's descending down is just slightly thick, but not too thick. And I did have a reference up when I was doing this, so now I'm branching this out very slightly. And I'm trying to make sure I don't have really, really harsh angled lines. I want these to be pretty soft looking, kind of like how it is in the anime. Drawing this line that goes downwards here, rounding out some of the corners that are there, and just making these lines slightly thicker. Now, to make my face look just slightly less round, because I have a very round face, I'm using some brown cosmetic at the edges just to give a bit of shadow. I'm making this come to a point where my chin is to take some of that circularness and roundness off of where my chin is too. Then I'm just using a brush to blend it a bit more and blend the cosmetics that I've already used on where the chin is and also the face. The rest of this cosplay is pretty easy. If you have some sort of black overcoat or you have a long black jacket, it will work perfectly, along with also a white button-up shirt, some black pants, and you could even make your own tie, which I just colored a piece of paper red and stuck it onto here. I also noticed too a little bit later on that there was a fuzzy on my left shoulder, so you'll see it in a little bit. This cosplay was a lot of fun to do. It is definitely a beginner-friendly cosplay, and I hope this tutorial had helped. Now, you've listened to me talk pretty much this entire time, so please enjoy the remainder of this video, which is me taking this makeup off. Until next time, take care, have a good one, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, see you later. Bye!